Hi! So today I am going to show you a quick tutorial of how I made my son's Halloween costume, which is a one-eyed green friendly monster that we all know and love. So to make the body, I'm going to actually send you over to Daisy Farms Crafts. She has a free pattern for a pumpkin costume. I actually made the pumpkin costume last year, and then this year I actually followed that exact same pattern to make the body. And I just used Bernat Blanket Yarn in Lemon Lime to get this color. So go ahead over there, I'll put the link in the description. You're gonna follow that exact same pattern. And now we're gonna go over how to craft the big eye. And so what you're gonna need for this is you're gonna need some yarn that you're gonna wanna use. I used white for the eye, black for the pupil, Bernat Blanket Yarn again. We're using an 8mm hook, the same hook you used for your body. The whole thing is going to be in half double crochets, just as the body was. You're going to need your sewing needle, of course, a pair of scissors, and then I'm going to use some polyfill to go ahead and stuff a bit of the eye to give it a bit of a 3D look. But if you don't have polyfill, like no biggie, you don't need to go out and buy any. You can just stuff any, like if you have any, extra yarn left over, you can use that. We just don't want it to be kind of pancakey. It'll look a little funny. Okay, great, let's get started. So for the eye, you're gonna grab yourself some white or cream yarn. I'm using the same Bernat Blanket Yarn. And to start, we're gonna start with the magic ring. So this is how I do my magic ring. I hold it right here between my finger and my thumb, loop it around, and then loop it around. And while I'm holding it, I'm gonna use my hook. I'm using an 8mm hook. Use my hook to grab it and pull it up. And then, sorry if you can't really see that, we're gonna yarn over and pull it up. So now we have one, and we're gonna chain two. We're gonna be working in half double crochets again, just like you did with the body. So chain two, and then I pull up this little tail here. This is what we're gonna pull to tighten the circle. I'm gonna do 9 half double crochet, and this chain two is gonna count as our first half double crochet. So we're gonna do 10 total. You'll have 10 stitches total. So 1, and now we're gonna do 9 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so now that we have our 9 half double crochets and our chain two, so we should have 10 stitches around total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're gonna go ahead and pull this tail to tighten this up. This is the beauty of a magic ring. If you can't do a magic ring, if it's something that's new to you, you can always do chain 3 and then slip stitch into the last chain, make it a circle, and then crochet into the chain. The only thing is you can't always get as tight a center pull as this. So now that we have this circle, we're gonna go ahead and slip stitch into that top chain, the second chain. So we're gonna finagle our hook in there, go ahead and slip stitch. Now we're slip stitch closed, and we're gonna chain 1. This does not count as a stitch. You're gonna chain 1, then you're gonna half double crochet into that stitch that we slip stitched into. So 1, and then you're gonna half double crochet again into the same stitch. So now you'll have 2 stitches. And you're gonna do this around the whole circle. So you're gonna do 2 half double crochet in each stitch around the circle, and in total, we're gonna have 20 stitches at the end. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, 20 stitches. Now we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch again. It's a little hard to see in this white yarn. You just gotta feel around for it. Okay, slip stitch. And now for round 3, we're going to do a pattern of 1 half double crochet and increase 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, increase 2 half double crochet. And we're going to follow this pattern all the way around. And so in total, that's going to give us 30 stitches. So we're adding 10 stitches each round. So you're going to chain 1, we slip stitch, chain 1, 1 half double crochet in the first stitch. Okay. And then 2 half double crochet for an increase in the second stitch. Okay. So now 2 stitches are becoming 3. Next stitch, 1 half double crochet. Next stitch, 2 half double crochet. Okay, now repeat this in the round. Perfect, 30 stitches. Okay, and so now we're going to do another increase, and we're going to go to 40 stitches. And so to do this, we're going to follow a pattern of 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and then we're going to increase with 2 half double crochet. So now every 3 stitches, you'll have 4 stitches going into them. So we're going to start the round the same way we did start the other round. Now insert hook, and we're going to slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through, chain 1. Okay, and now half double crochet where we slipped stitched in that first stitch. Okay, and then half double crochet in the second stitch. And now 2 half double crochet in the third stitch. Now there's 4 stitches. Okay, so you're going to follow this pattern all the way around, and we're going to end with 40 stitches. Now we're going to have 40 stitches across. When we get to the pupil, we are going to do this exact same pattern in black, finish off here. But for the eye, we're going to go ahead and keep going. So for the next round, we're going to increase by 10 again. And then the way that we're going to do that in this is we are going to follow a similar pattern by adding an extra 1 half double crochet. So to get to 50, we're going to do half double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet 3 times. And then we're going to increase with 2 half double crochet. And that's going to give us 50 a round. So we're going to go ahead and start the round just like we did with all the others. Go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch. You can find it. Okay, slip stitch. I'm going to chain 1, not counting as a stitch. Go ahead and first half double crochet. So 1, and we're going to do it into the next 2 stitches. So we're 3 stitches total. So 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to increase. So 2 half double crochet in the 4th stitch. 1, 2. Okay, so now we have crocheted into 4 stitches, but we've created 5 stitches, and this is how we're going to increase to 50. So go ahead and do this around the round, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so that was the last stitch. So now we're at 50. We're going to increase again to 60. And so to do this increase, we're going to do 4 stitches, 1 half double crochet, and on the 5th stitch, we're going to do an increase for 2 half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. So we're going to start the round just as we do each round. Go ahead and insert your hook, finagle it in there. Okay, yarn over, and we're going to slip stitch, chain 1, and then half double crochet into that same stitch that you slip stitched into. So 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to increase in this stitch. So 1, 2. Okay, so now we just crocheted into 5 stitches, but now we have 6 stitches. We're going to do this all the way around, so we'll have 60, and then I'll meet you at the end. 6. All right, now we're going to do our last increase row. So we have 60 stitches here. You can see it's almost coming together. Last row of increase, and so to do this, we're going to go to 70, And to achieve that, we're gonna do 1/2 double crochet in 5 stitches and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the same one. Okay, so begin the round just as the other. I'm gonna slip stitch. Slip stitch. Okay, chain 1, 1/2 double crochet in that same stitch that we slip stitched. And now we're gonna do 4 more, so a total of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we're gonna do an increase, so 2 1/2 double crochet in the next stitch. 1, 2. So we crocheted into 6 stitches, but we have 7 total stitches. So we're gonna finish this around and that will give us 70 stitches. When you get to the end, do not finish off yet. We are gonna finish it with one final round of just 1/2 double crochet in each stitch to help give it a bit of that rounded look. So go ahead and I'll meet you at the end. So here we are with our 70 stitches. That was our last increase round. And so now just to give it a bit more of like a puckered look, that way to give it like a realistic look, we're gonna add one final round of 1/2 double crochet per stitch. So you're gonna have 70 stitches again. And then once you complete that round, you can go ahead and finish off. So we're gonna go ahead and start the round just like we did with the others. So slip stitch, right? Chain 1, and then 1/2 double crochet. And now you're gonna just 1/2 double crochet around the entire project and finish off. So there we are, we've completed the last round of foundation double crochet. So now to finish off, we're just gonna go ahead and slip stitch, cut our yarn, and then chain 1. Oopsie, I almost forgot that. And pull through. I'm gonna tighten that. So now you can see we just have a bit of a little puckered look to make it look just a little bit more realistic. And so next we're gonna do the pupil. I'm gonna use black yarn in Bernat, the Bernat baby yarn again. You can use any color you'd like if you'd like to try a different color. And we're gonna go and basically do this exact same pattern, but like I said before, we're gonna stop after we hit 40 total stitches. So go ahead and start with the magic ring again. I lay the yarn over and hold it with my pointer and my thumb, and then bring the yarn over again. I use my hook, using an 8mm hook still. Put my hook through, pull that back piece of yarn up, and then you're gonna use your hook to kind of grab that string and pull up. And then I'm just gonna chain 2. There we go. And that's gonna count as our first 1/2 double crochet. So now we're gonna do 9 1/2 double crochet, so we'll have a total of 10 stitches, just like we did with I. 2. Should be a pro at 1/2 double crochets by now. Okay, so there we have it, and we're gonna go ahead and pull our tail, create this magic ring. All right, and so now we're gonna do our first round of increase, which that first round was 2 1/2 double crochet per stitch. So that right now we have 10. After we do 2 in each stitch, we'll come with a total of 20. So go ahead and just like before, you're gonna insert your hook to that chain, the chain 2, and slip stitch. Okay. Black is a little harder to see when you crochet. We'll go ahead and chain 1. Does not count as our stitch this time. Sorry, my yarn is all tangled. And 2 1/2 double crochet into where we just slip stitched. So 1, 2. And now you're going to 2 1/2 double crochet in each stitch across. All right, so first round of increase completed. So now we're gonna do our third round, which will be our second round of increase. We're gonna get a total of 30 stitches. So again, that's gonna be 1 half double crochet and then an increase of 2 half double crochet. I'm just gonna repeat that pattern all the way around so that we end up with 30 stitches. So go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch, chain 1, okay? And now you're gonna follow that pattern. So half double crochet into what we just slip stitched. And now we're gonna two half double crochet into the next one. So 1, 2. Okay, and we're gonna follow that pattern all the way around so that we get 30 stitches. All right, so we just finished that round. Now we have 30 stitches, and you can see here, I'm gonna do one more round of increase, but the eye is starting to form. So if that's how big you want your eye, you can feel free to finish off and stop here. But I'm gonna go ahead and go one more round of increase. So to do this last round of increase, we're gonna do a pattern of 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet. So we're gonna increase to 40. Okay, so again, slip stitch, I hope you can see that, chain 1, okay, and half double crochet. So we went ahead and finished the 40 stitches here. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off. So, and if you want to keep going, feel free to keep going. Just follow the eye pattern that we used to make this same pattern all the way through until you want it as big as you want it. We're gonna slip stitch, and then I'm gonna chain 1. And I'm gonna cut a really long tail so that we can just go ahead and sew this in right away. So cut a pretty long tail. You know what, there's no way I'm gonna need that much. Okay, I'm just gonna cut it here. I probably still cut way too much, but, and then chain 1, and then I'm just gonna pull all the way through. Okay, and tighten. Fantastic. Okay, so now we have this. This is our eye, which is gonna pucker up just a little bit like this. We want the right side out, and now I just gotta figure out how I want the eye. I do want to stitch a bit of a mouth here, just like a little smiley mouth. I think that would be really cute. So I'm probably gonna do the eye like somewhere up here, I think, like right about there. And then I'm thinking with a little smile, it would be really cute. Either way, I know I want it towards the edge, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew it on towards the edge and then kind of figure it out from there. Here we have the pupil and the eye. I'm gonna go ahead and take my sewing needle, or darning needle, sewing needle, the fur yarn specifically, and we're gonna use this to go ahead and sew our pupil onto our eye. Feel free to do or use whatever method works best for you. And feel free to have your creative freedom here, put it where you like. So I want my pupil to be a little closer to the edge to give it a bit of a like cartoony look. My son is only 2.5, so I don't want to, we're not going for scary here. And honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and insert it and pull through, and then I'm just gonna stitch it in the best I can while hiding the stitches. There's no real pattern here or rhyme or reason, just using your best creative ability to go ahead and stitch it into place. I'll share with you how I'm doing it, just if you would like a little bit of inspiration. But because black yarn is actually pretty hard to distinguish like the stitching, I'm actually just taking the yarn and almost like, not blanket stitching, almost like a running stitch along, where you could literally just poke it through the back and then bring it up through the front again. Just like that. I'm not going all the way to the edge. I'm actually leaving the head of the stitch there. But once it all gets stitched in, you're not going to be able to tell. So I'm just actually going to do that. I'm going to do a bit of like a running stitch. And it works beautifully because black is so hard to, it's so hard to distinguish the yarn in the stitching. So I'm going to do that all the way around. So I just finished sewing the pupil to the eye. It's so stinking cute. And I have like a really long tail, and you can kind of see my stitches there. I got it caught up in the tail, but it's all good. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the long tail because as I mentioned in the beginning, we're just gonna be putting a little bit of like polyfill or whatever filling you have to give it a bit of a 3D look. But again, like if you don't have polyfill and you don't need to run out and buy any, just you can totally stuff it with like extra yarn, or if you have like a scrap t-shirt you want to cut up, whatever reduce, reuse, recycle genius idea you would like to employ here. So like I said, I want to do a little mouth, and I think I want the eye facing the mouth. You know what? I'm gonna stitch the mouth first so that I don't fudge up my eye placement. So let's see. Let's get some black yarn. And the mouth obviously is totally optional to you. This whole project is optional, which it's super customizable, whichever way, however you would like it to go, or however you would like it to look. So I think, let's see, probably like right there. It'll look something like that-ish. And if I have the mouth there, that's kind of cute too, isn't it? Yeah, I think we'll go eye over here, smile over here. And actually, I'm trying to think about where it will sit on his body. I'm gonna go ahead and probably do the smile right up here. So let me get my needle threaded. Trying to decide how I want to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna want it to start actually probably right about here. Nope, here. So go ahead and I'm gonna get it attached. And actually, this is how I'm gonna attach it. No rhyme or reason, just however you prefer to craft. And I'll sew those ends in. Okay, so where am I at? Over here. I'm gonna go ahead and finagle how I want to stitch out this mouth. I think I'm gonna use a back stitch. I'm gonna go ahead and follow spaces. It's a little clunky in the back, that's okay. Yeah. How cute, right? Cute little smile. Right now I'm just stitching in spaces where the stitches are. OMG. Beside myself. Okay. Do I want one more? Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and knot this up in the back. Beautiful. And I'm probably just gonna honestly throw these back here with the, yeah, these. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually, let me put this to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and start stitching my eyeball on. Again, whatever way you prefer to do it. I'm gonna start stitching, and once I get about halfway done, I'm gonna start stuffing it because you were gonna want a bit of that. You see how the edges are curling up? Go ahead and push them down, and that's how it's gonna end up looking. So I'm gonna do stitch about halfway, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, so I went a little bit more than halfway just to really start to well, honestly, I got carried away a little bit. But here it is. You can see the eyeball popping just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take some polyfill and just start like stuffing it. I don't want it to be like a stuffed animal stuffed, like nothing crazy, just enough to help it like hold its shape, so that it looks a little more realistic, a little more monster-y. I'm just gonna squish it around to even it out. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish sewing it up, and then as I'm finishing sewing it up, I'm probably gonna stuff just a little bit more polyfill in there, just to make it like really three-dimensional. So here, I'll just go ahead and keep sewing this bad boy up. You can see here I decided to use something more closer to the whip stitch just to help keep the puffiness. If I had something closer to the running stitch I did with the Pupil, it would probably come out a bit flatter. If that's what you want, then go ahead and do that. So whatever you like. I'd love to see like Pupil monsters and monsters. Whatever you think. If you just tag me on Instagram at WildWaveLinks, WILDWAVELENGGH. That's WildWaveLinks. I'd love to see and share those creations. Now let's do the banana, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw just a little bit more in there. Didn't have a little puffier than I wanted, but at least I got some budget. But my son's gonna love it either way, just know it. He's super into monsters and ghouls right now, just like really anything Halloween. He was fascinated with Halloween like 2 weeks ago, or sorry, more like 2 months ago, like not even before fall has started. He just started loving Halloween, and here we are, which we love. We love the imagination and the excitement. His favorite thing to play right now is zombie. He loves to play zombies, pretty zombies around the house, and he loves monsters. And this is such a quick workup. I mean, it is a lot of work, but once you get the hang of it, especially because it is the same crochet stitch over and over, it's a pretty quick to work. I would say the eye in total probably took me about an hour, and then the body in total 3 hours maybe. And I'm like I stitch at an average pace, or I would say so. Okay. There's our Mike Wazowski! So cute! Okay, my son's gonna love this. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it off, and then the last thing that we need to make are the horns. And yeah, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I'll see you back here. So now we are going to go to the hat. So you're gonna go back to Daisy Craft Farms and follow the pattern for her pumpkin hat. But you're only gonna follow it to round 7. So we're up here, we've completed row through 7, which was just the single half double crochet across the top. And now we're gonna start to do our decrease to bring our hat in together for like that beanie look. So we have our slips, we did our slip stitch, we did our chain 2. And now for round 8, we're gonna go ahead and half double crochet 2 stitches together so that we're reducing the stitches by half. I did 40 stitches, so now it's gonna come down to 20. How I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna yarn over, insert my hook to the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert my hook to the second stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 4 loops. So that's how we're gonna stitch them together. So yarn over, insert hook through next loop, pull up a loop, insert hook through next loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through all 4. And so we're stitching 2 of those together. So we're gonna go ahead and do that again. Oops. Pull up a loop, yarn over through all 4. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and slip stitch to close the round. Okay. And now we're gonna do another round of decrease. So again, I'm gonna go all the way around and half double crochet 2 stitches together. So chain 2, half double crochet into that, you're gonna insert your yarn over, insert your hook to that first stitch there, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 4. Again, yarn over, next stitch, pull up a loop, next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 4. So now we're going to do one final decrease round. You can see it really is taking that beanie shape. And so what we're going to do is just one last round. You're going to go ahead, slip stitch as we've done each round. Okay. And so we slip stitch, we're going to chain 2. And now we're going to half double crochet 2 stitches together again. This will be our last time doing this. I know it's getting a little tight, but we're gonna have a really nice pinched beanie look, which is perfect if you live somewhere cold for Halloween. Last year, Halloween actually rained a little bit, and it was probably like in the 50s, 60s. It was a little chilly, but it was great that he had his little pumpkin hat, that pattern from Daisy Craft Farms, because it kept him nice and warm as we went trick-or-treating. So highly recommend having a hat. I am not the best when crocheting gets to this like really tight point, so pardon me. All right, so now that we're here, we're gonna go ahead and cut a nice tail. It doesn't have to be super long, but you just need it long enough to weave through all the ends. So we're gonna pull our string up. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and chain 1 just so we can lock the string in place. So I pulled up the chain, okay? I'm gonna feed this through our needle. Just making sure, okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and just feed it through all the stitches, the top stitches. And I'm just gonna do it like this. You can do it really however you want. It's gonna be hid pretty well. That slip stitch space is looking a little funny. I'm just gonna close that. This is the beauty of being able to sew your projects closed. I know sewing is like a nuisance for a lot of people, which I totally get. I can agree with that, but it gives you the opportunity to really finagle your piece like how you want to close some stitches up. I'm not a fan of when there's a lot of space between the stitches. Sometimes that just happens when you're working in a round, especially if you're slip stitching and chaining too. So this is right side out. I'm gonna go ahead and just sew my string in here, however you want, no judgment. Okay, beautiful. Okay, and so now we're gonna make the horn. I went ahead and as I was trying to make the pattern, I made the first horn, and this will actually be the horn that if you're looking at it, it goes on the left. If you're wearing it, probably is going to go on it'll go on the right. So this is like the left side horn. And then we're going to go ahead and make the right horn together. The pattern is the same, just in reverse. And I'll show you what that means in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and I have my slip stitches. I'm going to finish this off here. And so the yarn I'm using, and I'm going to cut a long tail for sewing, just so we have that. I'm just using some yarn from my stash. I have a pretty hefty stash, my husband says, but I know this is weight 4 acrylic. It's just some extra yarn I have. It's like a beige gray color, and I'm using a 3.5 millimeter hook here. This one I think I got at Hobby Lobby. I really like it, but I mean, whatever you have will work. We'll work it out. Okay, perfect. So this is the left horn, so the right horn, and I will put all the pattern information down in the description box. So no need to worry about that. But essentially the way that it creates this curved look is we're going to, for the left horn, you basically single crochet across and then increase in the last stitch all the way till we get to here. And then we'll start doing increases and decreases. And then for the right horn, we're gonna do the same thing, but instead of having like the increase at the end, we're gonna have the increase in the beginning, and that's gonna help flip the horn. So let's get started and I'll show you what I mean. We're gonna start with a magic ring, just as we did with the eyes. We're gonna chain 1, okay? And now we're gonna do 6 single crochet in the ring. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're gonna pull the magic ring and we're gonna work in the round. So no slip stitching, no chaining, and I'm not gonna use a stitch marker because we'll be counting very specifically with our increases and decreases, but if you wanna use a stitch marker, feel free to. And then as we begin to work, your work is gonna start to curl. It might start to curl inward, but you want it to curl outward so that your right side is facing out, because we're gonna work in the round. There will be no like switching between the sides, so you need your right sides out. So what we're gonna do now is we've pulled our magic ring closed. I'm just gonna make sure we're recording here. Yep, okay. We'll pull our ring closed. And so we're gonna go into that first stitch. Go ahead and insert your hook. And we're gonna do an increase here, meaning we're gonna do 2 single crochet. So 2, 1, insert hook to same stitch, another single crochet, 2, and now we're going to single crochet 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. You can see my work is starting to curl, so I'm just gonna push it so right side is out. And I'm gonna probably just keep my finger down here as we go to make sure that it is staying right side out. So for round 3, we're gonna go ahead and do another increase in this first stitch. Okay, so 1, 2, it's our increase. And now we're gonna single crochet 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now we're going to go to round 4, and for round 4, we're going to do another increase. So 1, 2. And now we're going to single crochet 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now we're on row 5 or round 5. So for round 5, we're going to do another increase. 1, 2, and now we're going to single crochet 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. So for round 6, we're going to do another increase. So So 1, 2, and now we're going to single crochet 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stuff my tail in here. We're going to end up filling these with polyfill, so I'm just going to put the tail in there. All right, so now we're in the 7th round, and for this round we are actually going to do 2 increases in a row. So our first increase, 1, 2. Okay, our second increase, 1, 2, and now we're going to single crochet 9 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you can see the little horn is beginning to form. Okay, so now we are on round 8, and this time we're gonna do 2 increases again. So our first increase, we're gonna do 2 single crochets in this first stitch. 1, 2, and now another increase. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch. 1, 2, and now we're gonna single crochet 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Awesome. Okay, so now we are, for rounds 9 through 12, we're gonna do an increase, 6 single crochet, a decrease, 6 single crochet. And this is gonna help us form that curve. So first we're gonna do our increase. 1, 2, and now we're gonna do 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we're gonna do a decrease. And so how we're gonna do that is we're gonna insert our hook, just like we did with the hat. We're gonna insert our hook, pull up a loop, insert our hook to the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull up through all 3 loops. That's a decrease. And now we're gonna single crochet 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So essentially we're not adding any stitches because we're adding and we're taking away, but we're just kind of shifting it so that we can begin to curve that horn. So that was once. We're going to do it 3 more times for a total of 4 rounds. So again, we're going to go ahead and increase. So 2 single crochet in that first stitch. Okay, and 6 single crochet. And now a decrease, so insert hook, pull up a loop, insert hook to next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Okay, and 6 single crochet again. Wonderful. See, you can see that horn. It's always so exciting when it comes together. Ready? So, increase. 1, 2, 6 single crochet. Decrease. 6 single crochet. Okay, and one more time. Increase, 6 single crochet. Decrease, 6 single crochet, and now we're going to do 2 slip stitches just to help round this out so it's a bit smoother. One slip stitch and 2 slip stitches. So we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to cut off a decently long tail for sewing and just pull through. And here we have our second horn. So you can see that they're opposite facing horns so that we can sew them to our hat. This is where we're at. I'm gonna put the back of my hat in the back. I'm gonna weave in my tail just to hide it. And then I'm just gonna finish that off so that it's ready for wear. And now I'm gonna sew on the horns. I'm gonna put the back of the hat there. And I'll probably put the horns right about here. Not quite sure how this will all fit just yet. So, and this is again, another one of those situations where it is up to you how you want to stitch it. Yeah, just whatever works easiest for you. I'm gonna pull that through just so I can start to map it out, and I'm just gonna stitch it on in. Jump scare edit because I forgot to mention the filling of the horn. These are structured enough, depending on what yarn you use, and if you use a small enough hook like I did, that you could probably get away without filling if you'd like. But since I have it here, I'm gonna go ahead. I've stitched it about halfway through. I'm just gonna stuff some polyfill in there, just to help it keep its shape. And I'm gonna make it pretty firm. And that does also help kind of get that curved look that our monster friend has. Yep, so I went ahead and stuffed that. And and here's my needle. And I'm just gonna continue stitching it now, holding that, keeping that stuffing in place as I need to. So I'm doing, again, some sort of like whip stitch-ish. just pulling up through each loop and going in. You can see my stitch work. You could also stitch with the same color as the hat, so it might blend in a little better. But because I used blanket yarn, it would look really, it'd probably look really funny to be pulling such a thick yarn through. So we're gonna make do with this yarn that I have. So I'm gonna finish stitching this up, then I'll meet you back here. All right, it's completely done. What started as just like a quick sketch and an idea of what I really wanted to do for my son this year. Here we have our complete monster look. We have our hat with the horns. And it's a little hard to see, but I'll get a video of him wearing it. And little Mike smile, and I'm so excited. I hope someone else is able to create this as well and use it to bring some joy to some little kiddos in their life. So happy Halloween, everyone.